Hey guys, it's Tuesday. So I'm gonna start off the video by saying I recorded this once and then it deleted itself, and I had a lot of good stuff to say, so if I forgot anything or missed anything, I apologize. I already recorded the video and now it's gone. Technology. So basically what I'm gonna be talking about in this video is, sort of a continuation on what Mystery said in his video about Stonewall and the movie rather. So yeah, so basically just like representation kind of stuff and whatever I can remember from the video I already made. Enjoy. I wanted to talk about Stonewall, the movie, and how the directors or casting people or I don't know, whoever, are making it inaccurate and getting away with it under the guise of historical fiction. So yeah, I wanted to talk about representation in the media and how being erased can actually really profoundly affect people. So in the LGBT community, the two media tropes, I guess, that we get are the cis white boy, gay guy, who ends up in this cutesy relationship, or is just like a cutesy gay guy, or some tragic ending where we get murdered or kill ourselves or whatever, because it's dramatic. So that sucks if you don't fall under the white boy gay category. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gay white boys. There's just something wrong with the media representation of them. And it's, if you don't fall under that category, then you fall under the tragic, heartbroken, murdered, kill yourself category or whatever. And that doesn't really leave you many options to feel good about yourself. And that's what representation does for people, is if you see someone like you in the media and if you see them being successful, then that is how you're going to feel about yourself. And you know, it does kind of suck that people have to rely on other people to feel good about themselves, I guess. But I mean, like, that's just what people do. I mean, like, this whole, you can't see it all, but like my whole wall is covered in like band members. These are just people who are sort of like me, and they, you know, it makes me feel better about myself to see them being successful. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so when we have movies, so bringing this back to Stonewall, when we have movies like Stonewall, where the two, like the main people who started the riots, who started the equality movement, the movement for equality rather, who were trans women of color, I think they're also bisexual, are replaced by cis white boys. I don't think any of the cast are actually even gay, let alone, you know, trans or people of color. When those people get replaced by these characters, that erases such a big part of people's identities. Like, if you are a trans girl of color, like a young girl, and you're wanting to see this movie because these are the people who started the movement, or if you're, you know, if you're just trans, or if you're just a, you know, person of color involved in the LGBT community, and you see this movie and there's just a bunch of white boys playing everyone who aren't even gay, like in like basic level, it's upsetting. It's upsetting because that's not our history. That's not my history. You can't just change a whole historical figure and say that it's historical fiction. That would be like making like a movie about Abraham Lincoln and making him like a woman or like black or something. Like, that's everyone would get upset about that. Everyone knows that Abraham Lincoln wasn't black or a woman or a black woman. Everyone would get upset about that. But in this Stonewall movie where the trans women of color who started the movement are replaced by a bunch of white guys, the only people who are getting upset is the LGBT community. Granted, we know about the subject more because it's actually our personal history, but that doesn't mean that other people can't do their own research. So when people, I mean, this just goes for anyone in general. If your role models who are like you, or who are like you, are erased under the guise of historical fiction because the casting director doesn't feel like casting a trans woman of color, that's gonna make you upset, and it's gonna make you depressed, and it's gonna make you feel bad about yourself because what you had was just virtually taken away from you. And it's, I don't know, it's a problem in our community that we, A, don't get good enough representation, and B, it's the representation that we do get is like very basic. And I think that's what my message is going to be for today, is that we can't settle for less. We have to stop settling for good enough, because good enough isn't my history. Good enough isn't your history, and it's not our history. I want accurate historical representation, because that is how it went, and that is how it should be. What a lot of people are suggesting is that if you can donate the same amount as a ticket price, I think that's about like $8, to like a transgender like foundation, or like a trans woman of color like protection foundation. I'll put links in the description. I think I put some on Mystery's post on his Instagram, but I can put links down below. Obviously this is just if you can. If you can't, no worries. But so yeah, that would be that would be a good way to show that you want your history, not Hollywood's history, because Hollywood's history it's not ours. So I think my message for today, I think last week was be safe and love yourself. I think this week is going to be don't settle for less. Don't settle for good enough, because no matter what you think, that's not enough. Good enough is not good enough for you. Don't settle for less. Okay, yeah, I'll end it with that because this video is getting kind of long, and I don't want to do that. So, shameless self-promotion time. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, there's a button down here somewhere, if YouTube hasn't changed it again. Yeah. I don't know. If there's anything you want us to talk about, you should let us know on our Instagram, or I guess in the comments. Because, yeah, I want to talk about stuff with you guys. It'll be fun. Okay, yeah, I'll wrap up the video now. Never settle for less. Bye.